Reuters reports that hundreds of Iraqis took part in scattered demonstrations this past week, calling for an improvement in basic services and the resignation of local government officials as unrest sweeps much of the Arab world. In Baghdad, around 250 people gathered in the impoverished district of al-Sham to protest against a lack of services. This protest comes after a long period of suffering and the failure of many demands being met. The area suffers from lack of services and simple rights in getting basic services. So people are going out to demand their rights and services, no more than that. Some carried a coffin with the word services written across it, while others called for the resignation of all members of the local council in their area. Almost 8 years after the U.S.-led invasion, Iraq's infrastructure remains severely damaged. The country suffers a chronic water shortage, electricity supply is intermittent, and sewage collects in the streets. In the oil city of Basra, around 100 protesters demanded the resignation of the governor and members of the city council, saying they were corrupt. 43-year-old Nouri Gadban, a day laborer in the construction industry and father of 6, said, quote, "I and my children depend totally on food rations. Without it, we will die. I find work for 1 day and then nothing for 10 days after that. I've been looking for kerosene for a month and I cannot find it. We have had enough. What do they want? For us to burn ourselves until they think about us?" Protests in Tunisia, which forced out President Zayn al-Abidine Ben Ali last month, began after a young unemployed man set himself on fire in protest at his treatment by the authorities. Since then, there's been a series of self-immolations around the Arab world. Other demonstrations were staged in Ramadi, Mosul, and near the southern city of Diwaniyah. The protests were peaceful, but Iraqi police opened fire last week to disperse hundreds of residents protesting about shortages of power, water, and other services near the city of Diwaniyah, wounding 3. Similar protests directed at power shortages were held last June in Basra, where police opened fire. 2 protesters there died.